Let me push my computer back a little bit. There we go.
Oh, thank you so much, first of all, for coming on our team call. You must be so super busy with everything that you're doing. We watch you closely on social media. So, and thanks obviously for Tom as well, just for reaching out to you and using one of our vital behaviours to actually take a deep breath and actually ask you. So it just shows you that just to invite, it shows you what can actually happen when we do that. So thank you so much for coming on, Chris.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Sorry I'm a little late. I got caught in traffic.
Oh, well, it's funny you should say it. We were just talking about traffic because one of our guys, Steve, he's just back from New York, and he was saying that America's crazy because you're like, it's 11 o'clock at night and you're still getting caught in traffic. So it's a little different from the UK, I think.
Yeah. New York is tough. Like, New York's traffic I live in a small town in Ohio, so New York is bananas. It's always busy in New York. So
that's right.
So you guys getting excited? You got your big day coming up? You getting ready?
These guys have been so busy, and they've been busy for a while as well. It's been like 2 or 3 months. Some of these guys have been working in longer on this, and we've been waiting for it for such a long time. And in between it, we've had the pleasure of having a shift shop, and a lot of our guys have been doing your workouts and at the moment doing your workouts as well. So we just wondered what sort of insight you could give us to what we might be expecting from you perhaps in the future, and a little bit of insight to maybe people who haven't done shift shop in the UK before, or just really, and a little bit about you as well, because we just want to know you. We just want to know all about you.
So I think, as far as the shift shop, it's a very special program. It really is. Because I'm one of those kind of, people that, I thrive off of, watching other people bring out the best in themselves. Because oftentimes, it's hard for people to understand, what their gifts and talents are, their purpose, when we live in a world of just so much uncertainty. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of depression, there's a lot of anger and fear. And, my whole approach to Beachbody and to, the network and anyone for that matter, is to just try to shine light on everyone's gifts and let them know that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. That's basically, and Shift Shop is one of those programs where, you're getting personal development and a great workout program all in one. So
it certainly is. And there's been so many good reviews about it. And it's like one of a kind, really, the Shift Shop as well. And I think that certainly you and your personality, and we listened to your story as well when you came onto the UK group, it must have been about 5-6 weeks ago now, and we were all really impressed and we were all really touched. I think we all fell in love with you then.
Oh man!
Amazing. And then some of the guys who weren't able to go on it, I know we weren't able to record it because of whatever marketing reasons were. But I wondered if you might be able to even just tell us a little bit about sort of how you got involved in Beachbody, and maybe a little bit about like the opportunities maybe that it's given you and where you came from to where you are now.
Yeah, so my whole story is kind of like, I'm kind of like the miracle kid out of everybody. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm probably like, how you have like a group of people and everybody, I'm like the runt. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's a little more rough on the edges than everybody else because I come from a different background. So to kind of, bring everybody up to speed, basically what happened was I trained athletes back here in Ohio, professional athletes. And I had a huge following on YouTube. I think my training was in probably like 210 countries at the time. And so, I'm in a little small town, but it was just, YouTube was my platform to kind of share my talents and gifts and to just kind of be, a motivating, influence to people. Cause like I said, I love to bring out the best in others. But what happened was my life hit a very, very tough low. I got in trouble a couple years ago. And, there was a situation that happened where someone sent some marijuana to an address. And basically what happened was the person who sent the drugs from California wasn't at the address. It was a vacant place. He wasn't there. And across the hallway from the vacant place, my son's mother lived. And so I'm at the house and, she was actually transitioning to move back into my place at the time because we had split up for a little bit. But I was just over there, we were just kind of gathering some things and kind of doing some plans. And this package arrives. It's in her name. And I'm like, did you order something? And she's like, no. And she said, did you order me something? I'm like, I don't live here. Why would I order you something? You know what I mean? And before you knew it, the police, they showed up and they were already there. They were staking out. And so it was one of those situations where, the person who was responsible for it wasn't there. And what am I going to say? The package is in my son. There was no trace to me to the package. The package was in my son's mom's name, and she had no idea what it was. And so somebody had to, go down for it. And so they were going to take her to jail. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So how is she going to get in trouble over something she didn't know? They said, well, it's in her name. We don't know that. I said, so if I say it's mine, is she going to get in trouble? And they was like, nope. If you say it's yours, then, you're taking a hit for it. And so I said it was mine. And then, man, that was tough because, where I live, I'm a pretty popular guy. I train, like I said, I train all the pro guys. I had high school teams I was training at the time. I lost everything. I mean, I'm sorry, I lost all my teams. And my pro guys were already gone into their seasons, but I still trained them when they came home. But, my life hit a tough low. I nearly lost everything, both of my gyms. I nearly lost my home. I nearly lost my freedom. I was facing like 5 years in prison over this. I've never been in trouble in my life. Like never even I think the worst thing I had was like a speeding ticket. Like I never got in trouble, And so, even during that time, like it got bad quick. And so my daughter, she goes to a pretty nice school here in this area we live in. She started getting bullied. Like, oh, that's why you drive that car. And that's why you guys live in that house. Your dad's a drug dealer. And she's like, you don't understand. Like that's not my dad. So she's coming home like, Dad, tell the truth. Tell the police it isn't yours. But I'm like, sweetheart, it ain't that easy. Like I already said it was mine. And she said, but you don't understand that people are calling you a drug dealer. People are saying all these different things about you. And as any little girl would, especially that's a daddy's girl, she wants to defend her father, And so she started getting, they have these apps on your phone where you can choose phone numbers. And like, I can text you, I can call you, you can text me back, but you can't call me back. And so she started getting these threatening text messages, from these numbers saying, I'm going to make sure your dad never gets out of prison. I'm going to send more drugs to your house. I'm going to get him in more trouble. And it could be like 12 o'clock at night. I'm asleep. All of a sudden I hear her running up the stairs, which makes me jump up. Like, what's the matter? Someone said there's a package on our porch. And there was a hoax. So by this point, she's like psychologically just tapped out from the situation. She's like, Dad, tell the truth. Tell him it's not yours. I can't, honey. I already said it was mine. So that caused friction between the two of us. So to make a long story short, she kept getting bullied and people saying we're going to plant drugs in her car. And she couldn't take it, man. She went to her, to her grandmother's house one weekend. And I have a rule at my house where, before you leave for the weekend, all your chores have to be done. So when you come home on Sunday, come on, you got kids already. They don't want to do chores when they come home on Sunday. They have school Monday. So I came home. Her laundry was in the washer. Something was in the dryer. She had her basket there. So I'm thinking she went to Starbucks with one of her friends or, just out and about with one of her friends. And so I called her. She said, I'm at grandma's house. I'll be home Sunday. I'm like, oh, no, it don't work like that. You got laundry in the washer, laundry in the dryer. I need to do laundry. You need to come home and finish your laundry. Then you can go back to your grandma's house. Well, she said, I'm not coming home. I'm stressed out there. I don't feel safe there. And so you need to get here in 20 minutes. So she didn't come. So I told her, you know what? I'm going to take your car. And she got mad and she went to the store. She bought like a bottle of extra strength Tylenol. And she went back to her grandma's house. My daughter doesn't take baths. She takes showers. She ran some bath water, turned the music up real loud. And she took like 30 extra strength Tylenol. And her grandpa just so happened to come home. And he had to use the restroom. They have one bathroom. He knocking on the door, don't hear anything. He goes back downstairs, asks his wife, hey, what's she doing? Wait a minute, she doesn't take baths. Why is she taking a bath? She usually takes showers and, I need to use the restroom. He goes, knocks on the door again, still no response. So he didn't want to walk in on her because of the music. So he kind of cracked the door open and she was laid over the bathtub unresponsive. And so they had to rush her to the hospital. She nearly died. If he'd have came like 10 minutes later, she would have died, man. And so she was in the ICU for 4 days, and then my life really just hit rock bottom because they, you know, they contributed my situation to that. So now I'm this bad dad when everybody knows I love kids, especially my own. And so I'm getting beat up by, you know, child services. And, you know, we should take her from you. She's a senior. I mean, what are you going to do, you know? And so she was going into her senior year. And so, you know, they made threats. And from there, again, I had no money, guys, broke. Like, my account at this point is in the negative for 4 months. And I'm just like, life is turned upside down. And so what I did is I had a savings account. Before I ran out of money, I had $20,000 saved up. And what I did is I took 18 of it and bought my own production set. And I bought all these posters that you see in my man cave. And what happened was, you know, I kind of show you a little bit, but what happened was I was in such a dark place. I had a buddy who used to film all of my YouTube content. And he told me, you know, I can't be affiliated with you because you got this felony. And rightfully so, I respected it. You know, it's his business. He didn't want to be associated with me, but I didn't know how to film. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to do any of that. And so what happened was I said, I had to take a leap of faith. I said, I need to get on YouTube. That's my platform. I had endorsement deals, you know, potentially, which was I was trying to secure them and kind of explain to them what happened. I lost all of them. And so what I did is I hired a guy to come to my house twice a week to teach me how to film and edit. Now, this is what was powerful. At this point, I am like in the worst place in my life. And I'm rock bottom. I'm having suicidal thoughts. Not that I would ever do it. It's just it presented itself to me. You see what I'm saying? It was my choice to engage in that thought and allow it to connect to me emotionally to even consider following through. But I love my kids so much, there's just no way I'm gonna leave my kids. You see what I'm saying? But just a thought, when you're at that rock bottom dark place, the thought just presented itself to me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm getting suicidal thoughts now. This is like way deep. And so what I did is I'm in this very seat right here. I wrote myself a letter. And in the letter, it was December 30th. It was the worst Christmas I ever had. I wasn't able to really provide for my kids because I didn't have any money. And so what I did was I wrote a letter to myself. And in a letter, I wrote everything I wanted my life to be, every aspect, every area. And what I would do is I would read this letter to myself and I would cry. I would read it, sometimes rejoicing. I would read it as if it was happening right now. And I needed to do that to feel good because my physical situation was burdening me so badly. And I ended up purchasing every movie in my life that's ever had an impact on me, from Kung Fu Panda, my favorite movie, just because of the spiritual principles in it, of that unwrapped veil. You know, when they unwrapped it, it was blank, and basically he said it's whatever you create it to be, and there was so many spiritual principles in it. And then from there, you know, there's the Pursuit of Happiness. That movie moved me because Will Smith was in that broken state. He had nothing. All he needed was an opportunity. All he needed was a shot to really, you know, take his life to the next level. And then he goes from Rocky. You know the story with Rocky. Rocky had that resilience. And this is Chris Jr. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey, yes.
Then the Passion of the Christ movie. And I needed some kind of like joy. So my son and I, we like the movie Cars. So I put a poster of that, the movie Tombstone, Bad Boys, Blue Streak, and then I have a poster over here, a Gandhi poster. And the Gandhi poster meant so much to me because at this time I was being persecuted and ridiculed and judged. I couldn't act out emotionally despite how I felt. I needed to take a different approach. So what I did is I took Gandhi's approach to everything, to just live in peace with people, let them say what they want to say, turn the other cheek, and just try to stay focused. And what happened, guys, is I had no idea that at this point, while I'm reading this letter, in this letter I put that I would partner with a company via YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I would do great things with them, right? And I literally put in this letter exactly what I wanted my life to be. I had nothing to lose. I was rock bottom. I couldn't go any further. So what I did is I would read it every day. Lord, what I didn't know was Carl was on his Malibu property running on his turf. And he thought this idea, I would like to do some workouts on turf. So he goes in the house, Googles workouts on turf. Out of all the millions of videos that pop up on YouTube, mine popped up. Now get this, here's the thing. Remember me telling you my buddy told me he couldn't film or edit for me anymore? I had a guy come to my house, like I said, for 3 months. The very first video I ever filmed and edited myself, And the only video, the very first video I ever put out with my new equipment was a video of me filming my son. That was a video Carl saw. So that was the video that got me signed to Beachbody, because he went to my page and he saw, you know, my compassion with my kid who was 2 at the time. And then he went to he actually saw my other work, and he saw, you know, all the momentum I had. So even what you guys didn't know is, even at this time, Shift Shop still wasn't even a name. The program was really called OCD, which meant Outdoors with Chris Downing. Shift Shop wasn't even thought of. But what happened was, I went out to LA, we kind of tested it, and it was supposed to be Outdoors with Chris Downing. And we was having like problems with, you know, sirens and dogs barking. We couldn't find a syncing device with my style of coaching, which is to engage and talk to you and try to motivate you. So what we did is he said, let's scratch the outdoor idea. Let's take it inside. Let's make it a 3-week program. We'll figure that out later. At this time, we still have no name because it's supposed to be an outdoor program. So I'm going through rehearsals and test groups, testing it. And finally, the day before the deadline, we submitting all kind of names: Level Up, Next Level, iRamp, all these names getting kicked out by legal. Nope, 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 nope. Carl says Shift Shop. And I was like, what? Shift Shop? What is a Shift Shop? And so they said, I don't know if Chris likes it. You know, Carl said, let's meet tomorrow in the office. So we get to the office, and he said, you don't like it, do you? I said, it's not that I don't like it. I just don't understand it. And he was like, let me explain to you. When people train with you, I want them to not think that this is just another program. You go to BOD, all you see is programs. I want people to have an experience with you. I want them to feel like they're going to a place. And he said, he was driving down La Brea Avenue in California, and all he saw was a bunch of shops. And he said, that's what Chris represents. You take a car that's beat up, rusted, just broke up, take it to the shop. What happens in the shop? The car gets patched up. It gets sanded. It gets repainted. 3 weeks later, you open the garage. The person comes to pick their car up. They got a totally remodeled car. He said, that's what you do to people. You give people hope. You remodel people, and you set them free. And I was like, I like it. And then the shift concept came from his perspective, shifting from 25 minutes to 35 minutes to 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then we go back into rehearsal. And now all of a sudden, guys, I have a moment. Like, I got teary-eyed. I said, oh, no, this shift means so much more than that. I made a shift. I started thinking about when I was in that dark time, that dark era. I get emotional every time I tell this story. I was in this dark place, depression, suicidal thoughts, no money. The whole world felt like they're coming against me. I made one shift in my mindset to write myself a letter and convince myself that this letter was my real life and not my current situation. That was a shift from where I was to where I wanted to be. And I said, oh no, this program is more than 25, 35, 45. This is a shift in mindset to tap into your purpose and allow yourself to bring out the best in yourself so you can empower, love, and inspire everybody to come across. So I took all those emotions, all that hurt, all that pain, all I've been through, and I bottled it up and I put it in a program and made it a personal development workout program. And that's where Shift Shop came from. So.
I mean,
now you understand what it means.
I think we all are just a bit blown away with that. And like I say, some of the guys, Chris, they've not heard that story. And I heard it when you said it live in the UK group, but it moved me then, and it moves me even more now that I've heard it a second time. And it just touches my heart so much, because I think everybody can relate to being somewhere in their life, or being even like in this part of their life at the moment where they just feel that they're not sure where to go from here or what to do. But if you can just put something in the forefront of your mind and just keep relaying back to that and just working towards a goal, then, and just believing it. Yeah. I think that's just been that. I think your story is just amazing. I was quite emotional at the time. I'm quite emotional now. So Kevin, you can ask questions. He's the level-headed one.
Yeah, I've got to get brought in so that I can be calm and level-headed. Someone has
These
to.
women.
One of the things we're kind of interested in was, like, what was the process actually like? So, like, you've given us this sort of philosophy and, like, your mindset behind it, but for you actually going through the process of filming and, like, actually putting together, like planning and programming the periodization for your program, how did that work? What was sort of the things that you thought, and what were some of the processes that you went through?
The things I thought, guys, was even when Carl signed me, I realized that the company could potentially get backlash because they just signed a convicted felon, a drug dealer. So I carry all that on my shoulders. I knew that it was only supposed to be a 2-year deal. You know, I had one shot, and that's why, you know, when I went every day on my way to Beachbody, I listened to Eminem, "Lose Yourself," because I knew that I only had one shot, one opportunity. That was it. And so the process for me was like pure laser focus. And here's something that was even, how many of you guys have done Speed 45? Show of hands. Anybody do Speed 45? Mm-hmm. Would you say Speed 45 is a little different than the rest of them? It's a little different as far as that one's a little more emotional. So here's what happened in that situation. So anyway, before I left for LA, one of my mentors had cancer. And so he had surgery. They removed the cancer, and so he was good. So he said, "Chris, go to LA, get away from here. I want you to focus. I really want you to capitalize on this opportunity." So I come to LA, him and I are communicating. I'm here for 5 months, texting back and forth. I come home, I see him on my visit. He's still encouraging me. So as I go back to film, we're talking like every couple days, and then we're just only texting. I'm not talking to him on the phone. Check this out, guys. We're filming. We take a break, a lunch break. I go to my trailer, to my dressing room, and my phones are lit up. I'm looking. They say my mentor died. I'm like, what? What do you mean he died? Like, he just texted me 2 days ago and told me good luck with filming. Here, the cancer came back while I was in LA. He didn't want me to know. He wanted me to focus. Let me tell you how broken I was, you know, in that moment, man. Like, I was in there bawling my eyes out because I had no idea this was going on. Like, he loved me so much, he didn't even want me to know that it came back. He wanted me to focus. So I'm sitting there, I'm crying, like, what is going on? Like, I can't believe this is happening. You know, like, how am I supposed to even focus on this? Then someone comes in the room to give me the schedule for this afternoon. So what's the matter, Chris? I said, dude, I told him what happened. You know what, man, we can take a break, take as much time as you need. We can pick up on this tomorrow. I said, no, I need to film. I need to get out there. So what I did is I went out on set, and I just said a prayer. I just said, I need to let this out, like, just work through me. Every word that he used to say to me is what I reiterated in Speed 45. And that's why Speed 45 is such an emotional workout. And there's no music on the set. I've just poured my soul into that. That was the day that we finished early because I rarely made any mistake during filming. I was so mentally tapped out and so emotionally engaged. And I'm talking about from my crew, the staff, to the directors, to the lighting people. When I was speaking to everybody in that room. That's just how hurt I was. And that's why you hear so many people, when they talk about Speed 45, they just start crying because my heart and soul. So the process, man, was kind of like so much. It was just so much emotion throughout the whole thing that I just never wanted anybody to ever feel broken, depressed, anxiety, fear, worry. I just wanted everybody to do this program and really get an awakening on the inside, tap into their purpose, and allow Shift Shop to renew their mindset and allow them to go forth and accomplish whatever dreams and goals they have with absolutely no fear. And so, yeah, sorry I got a little emotional with that, but yeah.
No, or like 100%. Like, I think that's what comes through a lot with you. It just, everything comes from your heart and soul. And like anything else, it's like what you put in is what you're going to get out, and that's what I think is going to be so good for the UK here. It's like they just see so much of you in Shift Shop, and it does come from your heart. And the way that you coach is different as well to maybe some of the other super trainers as well. It is more coaching than instructing. I think it is more of a coaching how to do the workouts and how to actually make the movements better. So I think that's just amazing, and never apologise for putting your heart and soul, because that's what we love. We love about you, Chris. There are some other questions you were going to ask, wasn't there?
Yeah, ask away. I got time.
Yeah. So one of the next one was just around. Obviously, you've given us like your specific inspiration around that specific workout, and you've sort of given us like the your role models with like Kung Fu Panda and things like that. So we've got some kind of a light and shade there. In terms of some other inspiration that you would use for yourself and your program, is there anything else that you see as being a true inspiration for you?
I think definitely the death of my uncle, because he had the dream. He had the dream that at the time I was modeling and acting, he had this dream that I was a trainer and I had a program that went global. It was touching lives and making an impact. And I think that's probably why I went into the biggest depression when I got in trouble, because I felt like I let him down. And so that definitely is an inspiration. My kids is definitely an inspiration to me. But, you know, alongside that, you know, it's the network. It's each and every one of you guys. Because, you know, when I'm even at these events, like when I'm at these events, I don't see your flaws. I see your perfection. Like I look at which I see you from a different perspective. That's why when I speak to you, I'm speaking to you based on what I see, what I know you can overcome. I don't look at weight. I don't look at color. I don't look at disabilities. I look at perfection. And so that's a very, very motivating, you know, an inspiration for me, because, you know, as a trainer, the challenge of that is for me to get you to see what I see. And that's it.
Wow, that's pretty,
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like,
one of the other sort of questions that we've sort of been asking, like some of the other guys that we've been speaking to as well, is you've given us a lot of sort of some of the external things as well as some of like a couple of the internal things. What would you say is your sort of driving philosophy behind, because obviously you've been through all these challenges, and what would you say, and you've had a mindset with that and a philosophy that's helped you get through that, what would you say is that, if you could sum it up in one sentence, what would that philosophy be towards life and training?
Empower, love, and inspire every person I can.
oh,
That's my life's purpose. I mean, it's tatted across my chest.
Oh, wow. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my life's purpose.
Well, you certainly portray that throughout just the way that you are, and certainly the program that you've brought out. I think for me, the question is, when are you coming to the UK?
Man, you don't understand. Like, I was hoping that I was coming when you guys opened up. Like, I was like, I gotta go to the UK. So I don't know yet. I know my schedules. They've been filling it up after the first of the year. I go to Michigan in 2 weeks. I did a tour a couple weeks ago. But yeah, guys, I can't wait, man. This is gonna be a great, you know, experience for everybody, and for you. You know, what I want, you know, all of you guys to really process even after this call, and as you lead into your release dates, like, you got a whole country that you can empower. Like, what do you really want? Like, I'm telling you from a person that has seen it all, you know, what do you really want? Like, don't play this safe. Like, you got an opportunity to accomplish anything you want. Each and every person on this call has a genius level talent. Each and every person on this call was created to do great things. There's no accidents on this call. There's no lack. Only lack we have is what we see. I just would love for everybody to really sit down with your spouses, boyfriends, whoever you're with, and say, you know what, honey, what do we really want? And that's like make it extravagant. And from there, write that letter, set those goals. You know, become a unity with each other. You know, speak it as if it's already happened, and then act as if it's happening. Because what happens is when you do that, you connect with that letter or those goals emotionally. Now, when you connect with it emotionally, you give it a heartbeat. When you give something a heartbeat, now it has life. But until you speak to it and connect with it emotionally, it's just a thought. Give it a heartbeat. And then you just got to water it and nurture it every day by speaking, this is who I am. This is it. Don't look at the media. Don't look at anything. Look at that paper and that genius that's trapped inside of you that wants to be out. Trust me, there's people waiting on you guys in the UK right now. They can't get to where they want to get in life unless you become who you were created to be. And that's that simple.
Oh my God. That's, guys, thumbs up if you're connecting with us right now. You're hearing what Chris is saying. You need to listen, because this is what it's all about. And Chris does exactly the same connection in Shift Shop, and it just portrays completely over to what's going to happen to us in the next 5 days. You guys are leading the way here, and
yeah.
I know that you've got your daughter and things to pick up this afternoon, and we can't thank you enough just for spending the time with us. And please, can we bring you back again, and we'll see what that you want to come to the UK, and we want to have you here. Thumbs up if you want Chris in the UK.
You guys, man, I appreciate you. Good luck next week, and whatever you do, never chase money, chase people. When you chase people, the money has to show up. All right. right? Always focus on people, man. Don't focus on money.
Oh, such
All right,
good
guys.
advice.
Take care. I'll see you soon.
Screenshot, Chris.
All right.
All right. Thumbs up, guys. That's it. Thank you so much, Chris. He's gone. Thanks, guys. 1 minute. Thanks, guys. Did you enjoy that?
He was amazing. Oh my God. Wow. He made me cry.
What am I going to do now?
He made me cry. He's phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Wait a minute, guys. I'll turn the recording off.
Oh, whoops.
What happened last week when we didn't turn the recording off? With all the animals on board, so let's turn that off.